Ganaremos esta lucha, cueste lo que cueste. Las calles son del pueblo. El pueblo, ¿dónde está? El pueblo está en las calles pidiendo libertad. Las calles son del pueblo. El pueblo, ¿dónde está? El pueblo está en las calles exigiendo libertad. Las calles son del pueblo. El pueblo, ¿dónde está? El pueblo está en las calles exigiendo libertad. Las calles son del pueblo. El pueblo, ¿dónde está? El pueblo está en las calles exigiendo libertad. ¡Únete! ¡Únete! ¡A la lucha! ¡Únete! 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 ¡A la lucha! ¡Únete! 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 ¡A la lucha! ¡Únete! 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 ¡A la lucha! ¡Únete!
Vamos a empezar, gracias.
Good afternoon, everybody. How's everyone doing this afternoon? Wow, what an amazing crowd. So, before I want to start, I want to acknowledge the indigenous land we are currently standing on today, to the Piscataway tribes whose resiliency we hold today in this day of action. My name is Jesus Vasquez de la Cruz. I'm your MC for the day. I'm undocumented and unafraid and here to stay.
Hello, everyone. Mi nombre es Marco. Marco Loera. I am from Rochester, Minnesota, and I am undocumented, unafraid, and here to stay.
We are here today to make it clear that there is no recovery without immigrants. Can you say it with me? There is no recovery without immigrants. President Biden and Democrats want to build back better. And in order to truly build back better, we need them to deliver an inclusive and expansive pathway to citizenship. It also means that we need this administration to stop detaining, deporting, and expelling Haitian immigrants at the border. It also means we need the Biden administration to end Title 42.
We are honored to be here today, and an amazing undocumented friends and allies from Nakasek, Casa, Church World Service. We are home, Black Liberation Movement, Arizona Jews for Justice and others. So I'd like to share just a little bit about what brings us to this space.
So I'll introduce myself again. My name is Jesus Vasquez. I am 23 years old. I'm here from Phoenix, Arizona, and I am here today because I have applied to DACA twice, and I didn't make it. The first time in 2017 during the Trump administration, and again in July of 2021. That just goes to show that DACA is never enough and has never been enough. There are millions of immigrants just like me, and also other immigrants who really need this support. But the Democrats are not delivering that support. So we are here today to make it loud and clear that we are holding them accountable.
Just a little bit about myself as well. Again, my name is Marco. I'm from Minnesota. And I'm a documented person. My story begins back in 2004. My family and I came to the United States. And like I said, I am in DACA right now. I have not seen my brothers for over a decade. I don't know my nephews. This is very hard on all of us, right? We all know that DACA is not enough. We must push for a citizenship, right? We must push for Kamala Harris to overrule the parliamentarian and put immigrants in the next reconciliation budget.
We are here today to demand that President Biden, Vice President Harris, and Democrats take bold action to protect pathway to citizenship for millions of undocumented immigrants through the reconciliation package.
But I'll tell you what, nothing has changed. What remains true is that the sole power and responsibility to deliver citizenship resides with President Biden, Vice President Harris, Senate Majority Leader Schumer, and Speaker Pelosi.
Our country cannot fully recover without immigrants. Biden, Harris, Schumer, and Pelosi made this promise from the beginning, and they can and must deliver. They can either pave the pathway to citizenship to protect the lives of millions of people, or leave millions behind like they always have. Or leave millions behind who continue to live in the looming threat of deportation. Sin papeles! No papers! Sin papeles! No papers! You're going to hear the stories of our resilient leaders in our community today. And now I'm going to pass it on to Stephanie from California, who will open up our stage.
Hi everyone, my name is Stephanie Faveles. I am from Los Angeles, California. I am undocumented and unafraid. I came to the US at the age of 3 with my mom in hope of a better life. And since migrating here, I've been aware of the fact that I am undocumented. Growing up, my mom and I would always have honest conversations about what it meant to be undocumented, its dangers, and its risks. I grew up in fear of detention and deportation. I grew up in fear that my family would be taken away from me, and in fear that I would be taken away from them. I remember the fear I felt every time my dad would not come home on time from work. I was so scared that he had been detained and hurt. This is something that a child should not have to go through. As a first grader, I should have been worried about learning how to add and subtract, and not whether or not today would be my last day that I have with my family. Earlier this year, I applied for DACA for the first time. I was hopeful about the opportunity to get a work permit and some protection from deportation. I even went as far as getting my biometrics taken. But that hope was short lived. I never heard back before a court in Texas ruled for an end to all first time applications. And I am not the only one. I am one of tens of thousands of young people in this situation, and millions of undocumented people who live every day with the fear of detention and deportation. That's why I stand here, undocumented and unashamed, speaking out and calling on Democrats to do their job and pass citizenship no matter what. Because they are in power because of us. And now it's time for them to show up for a community that has showed up for them time and time again. They work for the people, they work for us. And it is time for them to do the job and give millions of undocumented immigrants what they deserve. Because it is undocumented immigrants who have worked tirelessly as a
Charlie, for sharing. Unstoppable, undeniable, undocumented, unafraid, unstoppable, undeniable, undocumented, unafraid, unstoppable, undeniable, undocumented, unafraid, undocumented, unafraid. How y'all feeling out there? I can't hear you. How y'all feeling out there? Next person, we're going to introduce Rosario Reyes from Casa.
Yes.
Hola, muy buenos días a todos. ¿Por qué estamos aquí? No escucho nada. No se escucha. ¿Nos escuchan hasta allá? ¿Y hasta los conflictos? ¿Qué queremos? Mi nombre es Rosario Reyes, líder con Casa de Maryland. Este día estoy aquí. ¿Por qué? Porque son más de 35 años pidiendo una reforma migratoria. Basta con la mentira que tienen a nuestros hermanos tepecianos. Basta con la mentira de nuestros hijos soñadores. Ya estamos cansados de que nos den que ahora 1 año, ahora 3 meses y vivir con esa incertidumbre. Hoy es el tiempo de luchar, hermanos. Hoy es el tiempo de ser uno solo. Por eso estoy aquí, porque quiero que Nancy Pelosi me escuche, que sea nuestra voz ahí en la Casa Blanca. El senador Schumer, que cumpla la promesa que hizo cuando lo sentamos en esa silla. Así es de que al presidente Biden también en esa campaña que nos hizo, que fuimos la comunidad migrante que lo pusimos en la Casa Blanca. Que no se olviden que cada uno de nosotros tocamos puertas para que él obtuviera ese voto, para que él tuviera la Casa Blanca. Ahora está ahí y se está olvidando de quién lo puso ahí. Ahora, hermanos, yo estoy aquí porque quiero esa residencia que él me prometió. Esa residencia que prometió cada uno de ustedes. ¿Se acuerdan, compañeros? ¿Se acuerdan? ¿Se acuerdan? ¿Qué queremos? ¿Qué queremos? ¿Qué queremos? ¿Cuándo?
Gracias a todos. Now please join me in welcoming our friends from our collective fight, a penny.
Hi, y'all. My name is Afeni. I'm an organizer with Freedom Fighters DC. I'm also the deputy campaign manager of the Michaela Wilkes for Congress campaign. And I'm very, very angry. So, just a little background about me. I'm a second gen, American, I guess. My family is from Jamaica and Panama, so I'm also Afro-Latina. I do not speak any Spanish, so my bad, y'all. But I just really wanted to talk to you guys about solidarity. I just really wanted to talk to you guys about, this government and the things that they're doing to basically make it as hard as possible for people of color, especially Black people, to be citizens in this country. Right now, Congress is fighting on whether or not to give people a path to citizenship based on the ruling of somebody that wasn't even elected by us. Well, elected by people that have the privilege to vote in this country, because unfortunately it's a privilege and not a right. And we need to hold these people accountable. We need to hold the Biden administration accountable to saying all of those fluffy things on the campaign trail, talking about how much he cares about DACA recipients, talking about how much he cares about undocumented people and a path to citizenship. And yet, he has done everything in his power to make sure that there is no path to citizenship, that there is no real unity, that there is no real humanity in being a person that is not born in this country. And that shit is not fair. Hundreds of thousands of Haitian people have been deported over this year. Even though Biden said there was going to be a deportation moratorium, hundreds of thousands of undocumented people, period, have been deported this year because the Biden administration is still a racist administration. Do not let all of that fluffy shit fool you. Biden has always been a racist person. Kamala Harris she's a goddamn disgrace to every child of immigrants, because at the end of the day, if her family was not allowed to come here, she would not be sitting in the fucking seat that she's sitting in. Oh God. Citizenship was only created in this country to exclude blackness and people of color. It was not to actually say that America is some great place to live. They don't even treat the citizens well at all. They just wanted to make sure they could exclude as many people as possible because we are not a part of what they see as what represents America. But without the hard work of every undocumented person that puts $21 billion of tax money into this economy, without all of their labor that gets stolen from them to make this country as rich and as powerful as it is, we would not be where we are. Without every single immigrant that came to this country to found this racist ass, bullshit ass country, we would not be where we are. This is a country that was built by immigrants on the strength and the back of immigrants, on the strength and the back of stolen black people. So at the end of the day, we deserve goddamn rights. For real. Y'all deserve the right to be a part of the shitty citizenship that is in this country, because at the end of the day, not being able to leave the country and see your family, not being able to have a driver's license, not being able to drive down the street for being afraid to be stopped and deported, that shit is inhumane. We need to abolish ICE. We need to abolish that 100-mile border zone of Constitution-free shit where 2 out of 3 Americans live, which means the majority of Americans can be stopped at any time to see if they're illegally smuggling somebody. That shit is bullshit. If this is the freest country in the world, then we should allow people to come into our borders. If this is the freest country in the world, we should not be illegally stopping and searching people. If this is the freest country in the world, then we should keep every single person in this country that is keeping this economy going. And that means every single undocumented person needs a path to fucking citizenship. It's the last thing I'm going to say. I just want to say, as a black person, especially as a black person that is a second-gen immigrant, I would love to see more representation of all the black immigrants that are in this country as well. Because I am from Panama, right? My grandmother is from Panama, but she is as dark as me. We have cousins that look like y'all, though. And we've dealt with a lot of anti-blackness within our family, and it's time that we're actually standing in solidarity with each other and dismantling anti-blackness in our community. Because we all need to stick together. A lot of the people in Latin American countries, a lot of y'all are descendants of African slaves. Okay? So we need to stand in solidarity with each other, because at the end of the day, we are all truly family. And my family deserves to stay in this country. Your family deserves to stay in this country, and every undocumented person you know deserves to stay in this country. So please stand in solidarity with every single one of you. Thank you all so much for fighting. Thank you all so much for being unafraid standing up for yourselves and up for people that are too afraid to actually do it. Because we need to fucking raise our voices up. Because it is inappropriate to deport people in the richest country in the world.
Democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace.
Woo! All right, everyone. Please help me welcome Natalie from UWDA, Florida.
What do we want? What do we want? Hi everyone, my name is Natalie. I'm with UWDA Florida. I'm a former DACA recipient and I was formerly undocumented for 16 years. And I stand here with you all in solidarity for my community, for my family, who we are all still waiting for this administration to deliver citizenship for all of us. You know, it is our responsibility to hold these elected officials accountable, which is why we spent part of last night writing letters to them, to Nancy Pelosi, to Chuck Schumer, to Vice President Kamala Harris, to hear our stories and to hear why they need to deliver citizenship for us right now. Not later, now. Because when do we want it?
No!
What do we want?
Citizenship!
So I want to open up this space for everyone to come up here and grab an envelope, grab some paper and some pens to be able to write those letters, to share your story, to tell them why they need to deliver citizenship and why we need it as soon as possible, which is right now. And while you guys are all writing those letters, we're going to be having some of our members who spent last night sharing their stories on those pieces of paper, share them with you all today. Please feel free to come up and grab some paper and grab some pens. We created this mailbox where we're going to be dropping all of the letters that we will then be delivering to them.
Awesome mailbox.
Vamos a estar escribiendo letras para Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi y para Kamala Harris. Nosotros queremos compartir nuestras historias y decirles por qué necesitamos ciudadanía y lo necesitamos ahora. Y lo vamos a estar poniendo en este correo, caja de correo que hemos creado para ellos y les vamos a estar llevando esas letras para ellos después. Entonces quiero abrir este espacio para cualquier persona que le gustaría escribir sus historias y decirle a ellos por qué necesitamos ciudadanía. Y lo pueden poner ahí en el buzón y mientras que ustedes están escribiendo sus historias y compartiendo eso con nosotros vamos a estar teniendo a algunos de nuestros miembros compartir sus historias ahorita en este momento. Y quiero introducir a Daniela de California, que va a estar leyendo su letra que ella escribió ayer en la noche. I would like to welcome Daniela from California, and they will be sharing their letter that they wrote last night. The day before my flight left for DC, my grandma asked why I would jeopardize my safety and my future to stand with people who have never helped me before. She wanted me to give a clear cut pro and con list, one that would easily quantify the impact of achieving citizenship for all. With her question, she was asking me to explain how I could still have the heart to believe in a promise that politicians have long since monetized and weaponized. promise that commodifies our people, our stories, our pain, and turns lived realities into a clickbait most useful when election season rolls around. Our trauma puts you in office, and when we demand the actualization of your words, we are met with silence or scorn. My grandma has been in this country the longest. She has seen this fight play out time and time again. For her and the generation before me, survival meant disconnecting from this fight. It meant focusing on work, staying in the shadows, because the price you must pay for daring to simply live sometimes doesn't leave room to continue to fight for the things you desperately want to achieve. Today I am here because those who came before me and those who are standing with me give me the courage to do so. Because I recognize the privilege of not only being able to share my story, but also still have the capacity to listen to other stories. Chronicles similar to my own, maybe not in the specifics, but in the pain that we must all bear, that sense of urgency that comes with not having a permanent status or loving someone who has none. Sometimes it feels like I'm living life constantly running from the ticking of the clock, trying to build a future and always waiting for the other shoe to drop. Today I write this letter not with tears of sadness, but with tears of anger, because I am done putting my hope in empty promises. I am done sharing the horror stories I've lived through because of my status. If looking back at the last 4 or 5 years, hearing the pain of all those who have spoken, and knowing that you have the power to change things and doing nothing with that power, then I ask myself, how human can you still be? How much empathy have you lost? How much mental gymnastics must you do every day in order to continue to live your life in this way? I do not owe you my struggle or my loyalty. I have offered both up enough. Today, what I bring you is my determination, my will. I bring a demand that we are long overdue to collect. If you will not fight for the people who helped put you on that pedestal you now look down on us from, then we will continue to fight for ourselves and for the leaders who will actually get things done. Like I told my grandma, I am done compromising for a future that has always been at risk. That I am not here with strangers. I am here with warriors, with family who have all claimed their seat at the table. People who have helped me believe that my hands can be the ones that build my future. And I hope you realize that the time for you to be a part of this is coming to a close. This is the year, President Biden, that you give us citizenship for all.
Let's hear it for Daniela Cuba.
My name is Mauricio Perez, and I'm going to address this right there to the resident of that house. Dear Mr. President, I'm writing to you as a proud son of refugees, as a former organizer for your campaign, and as a voter. Throughout the 2020 campaign and the pandemic that shook it, I spoke on my family's journey to this country, from Cuba, from Venezuela too, and I tied that story to your platform, to thousands of voters. You won so many of us over with your many campaign promises and your ability to follow through with them after assuming office. But immigration has been the exception, and that has not gone unnoticed. You have failed to restore the amount of refugees the U.S. accepts to the levels of the Obama era, themselves substandard. You have continued to enforce the classist H-1B visa policy of President Trump. Perhaps most infamously, you continue to abuse this pandemic to fail our world's most vulnerable in their journey for asylum. But now, by allowing your party to cede to the damning ruling of the Senate parliamentarian, you failed as a leader. You're not just stopping reform from happening in the short term by accepting this decision. You're risking the fates of an entire generation of Americans. We are home. We deserve to be treated like it. All of us. Lead your party before this year's end. Lead them towards a bold decision that will show the electorate Democrats are a truly value-driven alternative to the reactionary Republicans. Fail to do so, and the legacy of yours will be one of inaction and frailty, as will your party. Signed, Mauricio Perez y Rodriguez.
Hear it for Mauricio again.
Hello, everyone. How's it going? All my bald people out there?
Yeah!
All right, this letter's for Nancy Pelosi.
undocumented. I've lived in the U.S. since 1998. I actually told your staff in D.C. my story back in 2017. You refused to see us, so I told your staff how I arrived so long ago and I still have no way for citizenship. There are millions of immigrants that need to be protected. My brother was one of them. He was in a detention center, and that year I met more folks from the detention center who had been picked up right in front of their children. Every day is scary, not knowing if COVID may infect a family member or us, me, and may be deadly for us. If ICE will, or if ICE will pick me or a loved one up and deport us. We need citizenship for all, now!
No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Sin papeles. Sin papeles. What do we want? Make sure they can hear it in there. What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? When? Okay, so we're gonna open up the space for anyone that wants to share their letter. If you want to share, please feel free. Si alguien quiere compartir su
Corta.
carta, estamos abriendo el espacio para compartir.
If it's not ready, they can still read it out.
But if it's not ready, you can.
El primer valiente.
Hi everyone, my name's Glow. I came all the way here from Chicago. And I'm here for the same reason as all of us here, because I, my mom, my sister, my family, our community needs a pathway to citizenship right now. I'll go ahead and read my letter. Dear Democratic leadership, Vice President Harris, my name is Glow Choi. I'm a 29-year-old undocumented person from Chicago. My mother, my father, my sister, and my community, we are suffering. Due to our status, we are unable to live our lives fully, and our dreams are being deferred. Turn around, okay. We've lived as low income for my entire life. Unstable housing, unstable work, and unstable status. The foundation of our lives from the very beginning was so challenging. My sister is disabled. There is no one that was able to help us, and everyone deserves support, particularly the most marginalized and vulnerable. Without support from my sister, we cannot thrive. We cannot wait any longer for a pathway to citizenship. My mother has been working ever since the day we came to this country. My mother is 66 years old, and I want her to be able to rest. I want my mom to be able to take a vacation. I want my dad to be able to go out instead of just hiding in fear from ICE. I want my sister to have all the care that she deserves so she can live fully. I want to do more than just dream. I want to live. It is your duty to fulfill your promises to our community and create a pathway to citizenship by any means necessary.
Thank you for sharing. I just want to say, yeah, okay.
¡Minnesota presente!
Buenas tardes. Bueno, mi nombre es Berenice. My name is Berenice. I am member from Faith and Justice and Unidos, Minnesota. I live in Wade Park, Minnesota. I came here to U.S. because I was alone in Mexico when I got here. I was 14 years old. I started working 12 to 14 hours a day, milking cows, and my mom's family were doing the same job. The salary is very low, so I stay around in the U.S. To be a member of Fair and Justice United Minnesota, I decided to start going to school because I want to learn many things and grow with my community. Many people have dreams like you and me. We want to be free, have the same rights that many other people have. Don't segregate our families. I want to ask you to use your power and liberate our families.
Let's hear it up for Berenice. So if anybody else wants to share, please feel free to come up. Si alguien quiere compartir su carta, por favor. Si no, está bien. If that's okay. Let's just remember why we're here. Let's stay grounded in our faith. Let's all take a deep breath. I'll introduce back Natalie.
¡Woo!
Hey everyone, hola a todos. Antes si sienten que no pudieron escribir su letra, si quieren venir acá a compartir su historia, you want to come up here to share your story, we welcome that as well. We want this to be a space where we can all share. And if you're also done writing your letter, please feel free to come drop it in the mailbox. Si ya terminaron de escribir su letra, por favor vengan y déjenlo en el buzón, que ahí es donde estamos recolectando todas las historias. Anyone like to share? ¿Alguien le gustaría compartir?
Hola, hola a todos, ¿cómo estamos? I'm shaking. I know it's not a little light, but I'm shaking. I'm here to demand this administration to fulfill their promise now. I'm here. I'm from Mexico City. I've been here for 15 years. I've been here trapped in this country, not being able to see my family, to talk to my family, to touch them. We've all lost so many people, and now more through COVID. We need to heal. We need to be with our families. We need to be treated with humanity. So let the man change now. I want to be able to see my daughter grow up. And I know that you all want to be with your families. And this is your family. So let's stay together and demand change now.
Hi everyone. Eva from New York. This morning I woke up with a message from my daughter. She's 10 years old, and I related to that message so much because it reminded me when I was 10 years old and I told my mom that I was afraid. She saw the interview that I did yesterday, and I woke up from a message from her that she said, I feel her and I am afraid. She never said that before. And it's because she's saying that I could be deported tomorrow. And I've always covered this up for my kids because I was trying to protect them for what I felt when I was a kid. And now I can no longer do that because I have to be here to voice out what I deserve. And I feel that Biden needs to stop hiding under the parliamentarian's decision. Schumer, I am from New York City, and I am demanding as a constituent for you to act now and for you to give us what we deserve. I don't want my daughter or my kids to grow up fearing the same way I grew up, that my mother will be removed from my side tomorrow. It's unfortunate. Kids shouldn't be living like that. I'm going to say it in Spanish. Mi niña, tengo 3 niños, soy dominicana de Nueva York y se levantó esta mañana y
Mi niña tiene 10 años y me vi tanto en ella cuando yo era niña porque me dijo que tenía miedo. Porque por primera vez ella vio una entrevista donde yo dije que era indocumentada, que tenía miedo y simplemente se sintió como yo me sentí. No debe de ser así. Yo tengo 28 años siendo indocumentada, ya tengo una hija de 10, quiere decir que cuántos años más van a pasar con niños sintiéndose igual con miedo. How many more years does kids have to continue living with fear of their parents being deported? That needs to stop now. The kids are our future. Mental health is a big deal. This is affecting our kids' mental health. This anxiety is going to make them grow up to be fear. That shouldn't be. Biden, you must act now. Stop hiding under the parliamentarian's position. You have all the power to make this happen now. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Eddie, he, him, his. I'm from Arizona, representing here. Hello, everybody. Undocumented! 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 That's right, my friends. Unafraid. Keep that in mind every time you walk. Keep in mind our ancestors that were unafraid. Right now, I keep in mind my ama, who was unafraid walking the border. My ama who carried a 4-year-old child by herself through the border. My ama who raised a kid in LA by herself, completely undocumented. Unafraid of anything. I think back to that woman who held me in a detention center as a baby, thinking to herself she was unafraid because all she could think about is liberty on her mind. All she could think about is freedom on her mind because she knew that there was no other choice but to cross and give her child an opportunity. My friends, that was back in 1999. I was in the detention center as a child. And let me tell you, the detention centers look the same. They're still here. They have not changed. Our immigration policy is stagnant because they always put us as something less than. We are never a priority. This has to stop. Today I think to myself, and I also hold my other ancestors. I think about my abuelita who passed away in 2019. I think about the fact that I had to hold my mom. And I had to be the one that was unafraid. As I held my mom, I had to on one hand hold my mom. And on the other hand, I shook with my phone shaking because I was holding my mom and watching my grandma get buried. Because I couldn't leave this country. I was stuck in this freaking golden cage that everybody thinks is a privilege. I want to wake up from the reality of a dream. I want to wake up to the reality of citizenship. I'm tired of dreaming. I don't want to dream anymore. I want to wake up to the idea of citizenship. I want to wake up to not having to fear an ICE card. I want to wake up where our asylum seekers are treated like human beings. I want to wake up where our black sisters and brothers and folks are not getting murdered on the streets. I want to wake up to see all of us have equal rights, where everybody is treated with equity, respect, and justice. I want to wake up with all of you in celebration when we can say collectively, sí se puede. Thank you, my friends.
¡Sí
se puede!
¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede!
Let's do one more chant that I love. Ready? It goes down, down with deportation, up, up with liberation.
Down, down with deportation, up,
Up with liberation. Down, down with deportation,
up with liberation.
down, down with deportation.
Up with liberation.
Thank you, my friends. Ready, and then we'll have one more person share.
Hola, buenas tardes.
Buenas
Buenos días
tardes.
a todos. Mi nombre es Maricruz estamos presentes luchando por todas estas leyes. Yo tengo 20 años en Estados Unidos, vine con mis 3 hijos, soy del estado de Hidalgo y por lo que estoy en esta lucha, tengo 10 años en la lucha, no he parado en estos 10 años, he conocido, gracias a Dios, a muchas personas organizando de estado en estado y he tratado de que todos levantemos la voz, hacerlos conocer sus derechos como personas indocumentadas. Eso es el trabajo que debemos de hacer. Yo comencé cuando mis hijos fueron arrestados, 2 de ellos. Cuando yo los vi arrestados por primera vez haciendo una desobediencia civil, ahí me dio el valor como madre, diciendo, si mis hijos, yo tuve el valor de traerlos a este país, voy a tener el valor de luchar por ellos. Y desde entonces mi camino no ha parado, mi lucha no ha estado parada, siempre ha continuado, siempre he podido y he levantado mi voz y he dicho y he estado en proceso de deportación, he estado en la línea, he estado en esos momentos difíciles y aquí estoy. Porque soy organizada, porque tengo una comunidad, porque lucho por los derechos míos y todos los de ustedes. Ese es mi trabajo, luchar y pensar que si yo estoy bien, ustedes también van a estar bien. El proceso de la lucha me ha llevado a muchas comunidades, a mucha gente, a muchas decisiones que tal vez ni mi propia familia les he comentado. Lo he hecho porque es el momento que te hace decidir que estás y que eres la fuerza de tu familia. Eso soy yo, la cara de mi familia y la que lo represento. Y la que quiere el mejor futuro para ellos, porque yo tengo sueños y ellos también. Son los sueños de mis hijos y son los sueños de ustedes jóvenes y de nosotras las madres. Eso es algo de lo que me llena de orgullo estos 10 años. Caminado en esta lucha y llegado hasta donde estoy. He salido y he dicho, soy indocumentada. Y aquí estoy con ustedes. Este proceso fue difícil, pero aquí me tienen luchando día a día y pidiéndole hoy al presidente Biden que nosotros en Arizona, 120 grados, caminamos para que ellos estuvieran ahí. Caminamos, sudamos, nos cansamos, dejamos nuestras familias, nuestros trabajos para empoderarnos y decirles a ellos, ahora nos cumplen como nosotros cumplimos con ustedes. Ese es el trabajo que nos toca hacer hoy. No bajar la guardia, al contrario, si ya salimos y decimos sin papeles y sin miedo, aquí estamos, sin papeles y sin miedo. No papers, no fear, no papers, no fear, no papers, no fear.
Muchísimas gracias a toda la gente que ha compartido. Thank you so much to everyone for sharing, for being brave enough to come out and to share with us. If you're done writing your letter, I welcome you all to come drop it in the mailbox. Si han terminado de escribir sus letras, los invito a todos a ponerlo en el buzón. Si pueden nomás pasar, no se preocupen de estar como luchando para adelante. Y con eso vamos a concluir esta parte de nuestro programa.